This is Virsil Mitchell with Art Sims, and he's the artist of this poster here for Red Tails. Thank you, Art, for doing that wonderful work. I've heard you speak a lot about looking at 50,000 shots.
50,000 shots. It's more than a notion digitally. I had to go, but it was pretty, I'm used to doing that. My ad agency, we do ad campaigns for theatrical and television and general market. So we're used to going through, lots of photography. That's nothing. It's a little small for us.
Well, this work looks wonderful. I also heard you speak about how diligently you looked at some artists' artwork.
Yeah. When Lucas came to me, Rick McCullum, the producer, and George came to me, and they said to me, like, why don't you come up with something, look at the trailer and tell us what you think. So when I saw the trailer, I said, well, the dogfight's the star of the film. I mean, the guys are the star, don't get me wrong, but in terms of selling it. So immediately I started to do my research. And I saw these wonderful painters like Robert Taylor that have done World War II paintings that depicted various types of dogfight scenes for American pilots and Air Force. So I've said to myself, well, okay, so it's got to look like that. I mean, it has to have that it was action. It's very beautiful, very cinematic, sunsets and beautiful sun rays coming in nice planes and doing nice configurations. So I did a combination of by looking at that and then picking the photographs, and I came up with this idea of the dog fighting in the air. And then actually this is part 2, because part 1 is the one that has the real dog fight, and then this one was the second version where Lucas wanted to have all the stars of the film walking down the runway.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing this film. Are you going to go inside and see it?
Yeah, I'm going to go inside and see it, and it's a beautiful film, and I hope everybody, African American, must support the film. I mean, George Lucas did a wonderful job of making the film, and more than just that, I'm also featured on StarWars.com. They talk about my company on there. That was George Lucas that did that. They put us up there, and they also put us on McDonald's 365 Black, Black365.com. And there's a little bit about my company on there as well. So they're really trying to show the support, not only in front of the camera, but behind the camera, and companies, African-American companies that were enlisted to work on this film. So he did a very good job of seeking out companies and giving opportunities to African-American companies. We'll never get these kind of opportunities, So we're really fortunate and we're blessed to be able to have worked on it. It's a wonderful experience.
Well, I'm happy that this work got out there. And do you have any suggestions for young people out there that are going to go down this path of being talented and showing their art? Anything you've learned during your journey?
Yeah, diligence. I reached out to George Lucas in 2008, and I said, we want to work on Red Tails. Now, my company does a lot of different campaigns, but we wanted to work on this film. And I pursued Lucas for 3 years. I'm talking about calling like every 3 months for 3 years.
Wow.
And, very patient to the assistant, his executive, secretary and everything. But due diligence, you got to follow up and you got to stay consistent. And, it does prove that sometimes it takes your dreams, sometimes it might take 2 or 3 years, but you get there. And I got there. They called me in 2011 and said, let's do it, Art. I'm like, okay.
Wow, that's great. It's funny because at 3...
Don't give up. Don't give up, man. You never know. You got to keep calling and keep pursuing it. And eventually, one day, it'll happen. And it happens. Sometimes it does and sometimes it does. But, I'm a witness. 2008, we're in 2012 now. It's like crazy.
That's great. Cuba Jr. did an interview this morning, and he had mentioned he had spent 3 hours talking to Lucas and the people to get this opportunity to even work on the project, because they said they didn't want to use anybody from one of the other projects. So again, you're so correct about that 3. Don't give up. Don't give up. Young people, whatever your dreams are, you must pursue them, and you must, never give up. You never know. I'm a firm believer of until they tell you to go away, still keep coming back. Well, thank you, Art Sims, our artist for the poster. Go see the film.